you guys, if you're booking clients but you're not seeing a lot of repeat bookings, it's usually not just one thing. Sometimes it's the photos, sometimes it's timing, and very often it's the experience surrounding the photos. Most photographers are taught to focus on lighting, posing, and editing, and then we kind of hope the client magically knows what happens next. But repeat clients don't come from great images alone. They come from a process that feels clear, calm, and intentional. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how to map your photography client experience from start to finish. Every email, every touch point, every moment, so people don't just book once, they come back again and again. Hey, if we haven't met before, I'm Lindsay Herkert. I'm a family photographer and I've built my business twice. First in San Diego, growing organically, and then again in Austin, rebuilding everything with intention. Now I teach photographers how to skip the messy middle and build sustainable businesses using intent-based marketing. This means implementing strategies with SEO and Google Ads so they're showing up when people are already searching for what they offer. And here's what I've learned after doing this for years. Marketing gets people to your website, your photos get them interested, but your client experience is what builds trust, loyalty, and long-term success. This is the final video in my 5-part series, and it's the one that really ties everything together. I'll link the first 4 videos in the notes below. Before we jump in, I want you to hear this. Your photography client experience doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be intentional. Because when clients feel taken care of, guided, and confident the whole way through, they don't just love their photos, they trust you. And trust is what creates repeat bookings, referrals, and a business that feels sustainable instead of exhausting. Before we get into the client roadmap, I want to slow down for a second and talk about why client communication matters so much. A strong communication strategy isn't about sending more emails or having fancy workflows. It's about creating clarity for your clients and for you. When your communication is clear, it naturally builds boundaries, and that's one of my favorite parts. Clients know what to expect, what's included, and how the process works. So you're not constantly answering the same questions or putting out fires. You're leading the experience instead of reacting to it. It also quietly establishes you as the expert. When you explain your process confidently and consistently, clients don't feel the need to question it. They trust that you know what you're doing and they're happy to follow your lead. Good communication gives you control over your time, your energy, and your schedule because you've already thought through the experience and put systems in place to support it. From the client's perspective, this level of organization feels incredibly professional. It tells them they're in good hands, and when people feel taken care of, they relax. Relaxed clients connect with you more easily, show up calmer, and feel more present during their session. And that is so big. That calm, confident energy you bring into the experience is contagious. And it's what turns a photography session from something transactional into something memorable. Clarity doesn't happen by accident. It comes from being intentional about how and when you communicate. When you step back and look at your client journey as a whole, patterns start to appear. You'll notice moments where a little extra guidance would go a long way, and places where clients might be feeling unsure even if they never say it out loud. Picture a client journey that starts the moment someone inquires and continues well beyond photo delivery. And just like when you throw a party, not every part of the house gets decorated the same way. There are focal points that matter more. On this roadmap, I've highlighted touch points throughout the entire process, but today I want to focus on 4 specific ones, the stages that really pack the most punch and have the biggest impact on whether clients come back. Before we go any further, I want you to know that the full roadmap is linked below this video as a PDF. I've also included a blank version you can print and use to brainstorm ideas and take notes as you watch. I suggest printing one for each type of photography that you offer. So like if you offer family photography, newborn photography, branding photography, senior photography, whatever you offer, print a blank roadmap for each one of those so that you can take notes and plan out each experience, because the structure stays the same, but the details change. So go ahead and pause here, download those, and grab a pen. Then we'll come back and we'll walk through it together. Did you print your maps? Okay, let's begin. Number 1, response to inquiry. This is where we get emotional buy-in, and it's the most important email sent during the entire client interaction. Not because it has all the details, but because it sets the tone for the relationship. At this stage, your goal is simple. You want your potential client to feel like, oh my gosh, this is going to be easy. This feels like a good match. They're not ready for every detail yet. They're deciding if they feel seen, understood, and comfortable with you. Even if you use templates, personalize this message. Respond to what they've shared in their inquiry. If they say they've been meaning to book for years, acknowledge that. That small amount of recognition builds trust instantly. This is also where your brand voice matters. Remember that video? I think it was the second one in this series where we talk about developing your brand voice. This is one of the times it really comes into play. Write the way you speak, warm, friendly, professional, and human. Instead of overwhelming them with everything at once, focus on direction, not details. Let them know what happens first and reassure them that you'll guide them through the rest. One extra trust-building tip here is recording a quick 30-second Loom video with a friendly hello and a simple explanation of what comes next. At the inquiry stage, clarity builds comfort, comfort builds confidence, and confidence leads to a yes. All right, number 2, booking the shoot. Once someone says yes, your role shifts. It's less about emotional buy-in and more about structure. So this is where you show your client that you have a plan. I always think in 3s. What to expect today, what to expect before the shoot, and what happens after. That framework alone prevents confusion, ghosting, and overwhelm. For me, once someone is ready to book, I send a clear booking email outlining the process, a location guide with my top recommendations for the season, the contract, and the invoice for the deposit. Nothing fancy, just clear, intentional steps. Once those pieces are completed, then I send the style and planning guide, and I do that on purpose. Holding it back creates momentum. It feels like a reward for completing the booking process and keeps clients engaged instead of overwhelmed. This is also where systems really matter. Using a CRM allows you to communicate consistently, respond quickly, and stay organized. From the client's perspective, this structure feels incredibly professional. They're not guessing what comes next. They're being guided. All right, number 3, communication during the shoot and photo delivery. Your client experience doesn't pause once the camera comes out. How you communicate during the shoot reinforces everything you've already said in your emails. I talk a lot about light in my written communication, how I use it, why it matters, and how it shapes emotion. And then I reinforce that during the session by explaining what I'm seeing. That reinforces the experience and creates moments of connection I can reference later. When you deliver the gallery and say, remember when we talked about so-and-so during the session, it brings the whole experience full circle. Delivery is not just sending a gallery link, it's a moment of connection and where clients decide whether they'll ever work with you again. A thoughtful thank you email, clear next steps, and a well-timed review request go a long way. I want to talk really quickly about timing of the review request. I have tried different things and I have found the most success comes from two spots. Either right after we photograph their session, I'll text them a request. I have it all written out in my notes so I can just copy and paste it and send. Or if I don't feel like that's appropriate, I'll wait and send a thank you email as I'm loading their photos. So I'm kind of like letting them know to watch out for their photos and that they're coming soon, and I'll reference something about the session and say how fun it was. And right there I'll put in a review request. And sending it right before I send the photos has given me more success than sending it after I send the photos. And I think it's because when people get the photos, then they're busy with the photos. So sending it right before and like in that excitement and then giving them the photos, I find that I have more success getting reviews that way. Okay, that was just a little tidbit. Now I'm going to talk about number 4, follow up and retention. So this is the part that most photographers skip, and it's where long-term businesses are built. Retention doesn't mean emailing people constantly or just emailing them when you have many sessions. It means staying connected thoughtfully. Segmented email lists allow you to speak directly to your clients. So family clients don't need the same messaging as branding clients. If you photograph newborns, you can even automate reminders to send a happy first birthday email a year later and gently plant the seed for a milestone session. Affiliate discounts are another great retention tool. I have one with Minted and my clients love it, especially like during the holiday season. I talk about it during the shoot, so they're excited, and I love it because I get a little extra income at the end of the year. Another idea is asking your best clients for feedback through a simple survey paired with a small thank you, like a Starbucks gift card or something like that. This can help you refine your process and make your clients feel valued. All right, now for a quick reality check. As you get busier, you will occasionally have a client who doesn't read emails or doesn't follow prep instructions or creates friction, and that's okay. Doesn't feel okay at the time, but trust me, it's okay. Your systems aren't just for your clients, they're for you. So every challenge is an opportunity to tighten your process and make the experience better next time. Okay, so here's the final takeaway. Map your photography client experience from start to finish, every email, every touch point, every expectation, because the goal isn't perfection, it's preparation. You can build a photography business that works around your life, not the other way around. And if this video was helpful, please like it and subscribe to the channel, and even share it with another photographer who might need it. You've got this, you're not too late, you're not behind, and you're absolutely capable of building a business that supports your life. Thanks so much for being here. I really love sharing my knowledge with you guys, and I'm genuinely cheering you on every step of the way.